Hey everyone, this is Jenny coming to you from the Missoula Art Museum. I am here today to talk to you about a project called Love Letters to the Collection, and that means our contemporary American Indian art collection of over 200 works. And I am going to tell you a few things about that and invite your participation. So I'm going to be talking about what does it look like to activate a collection of artwork? Where did we get this idea, and how can you participate? So I'm going to make myself really small down here in the corner, and hopefully I won't be too distracting as we go through the presentation. So where did we get the idea? We were thinking about decolonization and the sort of problem of how do you decolonize a colonial institution like a museum. And so our registrar at the time, Jennifer Reifschneider, happened upon this essay about some trees in Australia. And what had happened in Australia is that each tree had been given its own email address in this town. And the idea being that the people in the town could write to the tree and let the city know if there were any problems with the tree, if it needed to be pruned or if it had fallen down or anything, any problems. Instead, what happened was that the people of the town wrote letters like this one, where they were just writing to the tree, just sort of being happy to see it and loving it. So I'll just read this one real quick. Dear Greenleaf Elm, I hope you like living at St. Mary's. Most of the time I like it too. I have exams coming up and I should be busy studying. You don't have exams because you're a tree. I don't think there is much more to talk about because we don't have a lot in common, you being a tree and such, but I'm glad we're in this together. So that gave us the idea to have people write to the artworks in the collection. So this was one way that we might re-indigenize our museum. And here are some other ways. So I made a little list. Some of the things we think about at the Missoula Art Museum are buying art from Indigenous artists, exhibiting and sharing the art freely, hiring Indigenous people, offering a radical welcome by making the museum admission free, and inviting a plurality of voices into the conversation. That's the one we're really going to be talking about today. And offering contemporary American Indian art resources to teachers. What are some other ways you might have ideas? Please feel free to email us any of the other ideas that you come up with. I also want to share with you this hashtag called Museums Are Not Neutral, which is a project that was started by Latanya S. Autry and Mike Morawski in 2017. And that project we really thought a lot about at the Missoula Art Museum because the idea behind non-neutrality is that every decision a museum makes has an impact. So which artists we show, what exhibitions, how we interpret them, who can easily access the museum, all of this happens. And so why not be intentional about it and use these decisions that we'll make as an institution to really further our values? So here are some of the pieces of contemporary American Indian artwork that are in the Love Letters project. There are about 12 pieces available now on our website to look at and learn about and write to the artwork. So I'll be sending you a link where you can access all of this amazing art on your own time, or teachers, you can use it as an online curriculum. And here are some of the artists that you will meet there. Jean Quick to C. Smith, Lillian Pitt, Donna Luce, Rick Bartow, Kevin Redstar, the list goes on, and you can see their tribal affiliations there. Some are from Montana and some are from other places in the US. So I'd like to read you our land acknowledgement that we use at MAM. And to the left here, you'll see another piece of artwork that is in the Contemporary American Indian art collection and is in the Love Letters exhibition. We're going to be looking closely at this piece, and you're going to have an opportunity to write to this piece if you would like to. Our land acknowledgement says, MAM sits on the ancestral territories of the Salish and Pondere peoples, and we respect the indigenous stewards of this land. Ma'am acknowledges their rich cultures as fundamental to artistic life in Montana and to the work of Ma'am. This piece that you see on the left is titled Forced North, and it's by artist Molly Murphy Adams, who is Oglala Lakota. So in the Love Letters project, the person who started off the letter writing to this piece was poet Heather Cahoon. Heather is a professor at the University of Montana, and she's a member of the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribe. So what I would love to invite you to do, if you would like to, is to open up your phone, open up an email on your phone, and here is Force North's email address, forcenorth@missoulaartmuseum.org. And as you look at the piece of art, I'd invite you to think of a time when you felt love and how you showed it, and possibly utilize that feeling in your letter to Force North. And I'm going to go ahead and finish my presentation up so that you all can go on to the next thing. But please take your time writing to Force North. And I'll be sending a follow-up email to you all with the links to the Love Letters project so that you can write to any of those artworks that you saw. And I just want to remind you that Ma'am is always free, and we will always be exhibiting contemporary American Indian art on view at all times. Feel free to email me with any feedback or questions, and follow us on social media. On Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram, we are at Missoula Art Museum and at Ma'am Teams. Thank you so much for letting me come and join you today. Hope to see you soon.